Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the house, let's come on and drive to the liquor store on the corner. The boys say they want some gin and juice, but they really don't wanna.
They're attractive.
They're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Daniel Byrne.
Killian Sundermann!
How about there's a chicken, right? And it's a lovely sunny summer's day. People are kind of tucking into a nice frosty kind of reraw, right?
Yeah.
And they crack it open, and then a chicken pops out, right? A chicken puppa, and goes, crack into a reraw. What do you think?
Mate, just make that the ad.
That's the ad.
That's the ad?
That's the bloody ad.
For Reraw?
That's incredible.
For reraw.
Okay.
Reraw Irish Lager, who sponsor our podcast?
Yes, them. The very same, and they apparently have chickens.
Yeah, and they make a light fresh lager in Kilcool, County Wicklow, an independent brewery at independent prices.
Oof. Delicious.
Crack into a reraw.
Welcome to Young Hot Guys, and it's a very different episode today, and everyone is frightened, everyone is scared. Video watchers already know what's happening, but let's just say we have been confronted by an interloper, an intruder, a pig.
Charlatan. A philanderer, famously.
Someone tried to come for us, and
Whoa.
And if you swing
not
at the
that way.
kings...
Well,
You best not miss.
Michael Fry is in the studio.
Hello, everybody. Yes, thank you.
Hi.
Hello, and welcome to Young Hot Fry.
Yeah, oh, very good.
Thank you.
I like that.
That's
great.
good.
Yeah, that's great.
With me, Michael Fry.
With me, yeah.
Do a Michael joke.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to Young Hot Guys. Me, Michael Guy.
Yes.
there you go.
We're here to quash the beef.
The beef.
Are we? I don't know. Let's have it out.
Well, I feel like thank you guys for having me on. This was obviously part of the settlement we came to in court, where I would appear on a number of Young Hot Guys podcasts over the next few years. Now, we haven't booked the
Sure.
ones in the future.
Sorry, it
but
took you so long as
The
well.
court session was actually just an arbitrator, but we dressed him up as a judge, and it was for an unaired pilot for TV3. But it didn't make it on air.
It's still legally binding.
It's still legally binding. The cases are real. The people are real.
yes.
You know, in exchange for you allowing me on the podcast, I have removed my nose piercing, which I understand you had a problem
It
with.
was pretty hot.
Oh, we have copyright on it.
All
Yeah.
piercings.
Well, I've contacted a beautician who will pierce the right cartilage this time.
Yes.
Which
Which is
and
the
then-
That's
ear.
a shame.
It is the ear, and I have a number of ears.
Well, you've got
Left
two.
and right.
Yeah,
So
both
And
of
the
them.
final frontier.
yeah. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a hole?
In my ear.
No, another hole in your nose.
It has
Third
closed.
nostril?
Actually, it's closed. It's
Has
just,
it?
Just
So
closed
if you
up,
do
yeah.
this, does that come out?
Nope.
Wow.
No.
Just for the listener, Tony has
Airtight.
put both his fingers into his nostrils and
nose,
sort of
yeah.
mimed blowing as if some sort of air would be blasted out
Yeah.
of Michael's nose. In my head, it's making a little tune that he could play.
I wouldn't mind more
Like an ocarina.
Yeah,
kind
sort of like an
I wouldn't mind more ventilation in my nostrils sometimes.
Yeah.
Explain.
Like a third nostril.
Explain what I just said.
It's not a big enough hole to get air out of, which is
No,
really disappointing.
That's very
So-
disappointing.
So
What
what?
Michael Fry's after turning his nose into an ocarina?
He turned his nose up. Michael Fry, what do you think of us?
What do I think of you guys?
What do you think of us?
I
What
am
do you
actually.
think this is all about?
I know I've made quite a lot of me not being on this podcast. Just statistic wise, by the way, we're now younger that I'm in the room.
Yes.
I've reduced the average age by a third of a year,
Fortunately.
but we're less hot. I've reduced the average hotness.
Well,
by-
since you took the nose piercing, it for sure. But
Yes.
generally,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
a
yeah.
good-looking, handsome man.
As
leading
we have
man
always
energy.
maintained, and as we pled in the case, and our lawyer very
Pled.
very
Pleaded.
excellently
As you
pled,
begged, yeah.
he begged. Young is not to do with age; it's a state of mind, and in that sense, we inhabit both youngness, hotness, and guyness.
guyness,
because
yeah.
it's a state of mind. It's something you
Guineas
can inhabit.
of,
And Michael
honesty.
Guineas.
Yeah.
Michael
Yeah.
Guineas.
Welcome to Guiney Talk with me, Michael Guineas.
But I do love the. I do actually listen to this podcast every week. I really
Thank you
enjoy
so
it.
much,
And
Michael.
we could think of no one better to be our first guest.
Oh, that's so nice.
And this is going to be a much easier edit for Hilary because normally we pause for you to say something, and then and then Hilary has to edit out all the pauses, and, and then it ends up looking like a three-person conversation. This is going to be a really easy gig now for Hilary, which is very handy.
Okay.
you know?
What do you mean?
Well, when we talk and then we kind of pause for Michael to say something, something in his absence, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then
Right, yeah,
Hilary
yeah.
then, you know, has to
Has to
cut all
edit
those
around
out.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
You know.
we sort of spiritually imagine you being in every podcast.
And what do you think,
so far.
Michael?
Yeah.
And then that's sometimes you see us being like, yeah, anyway, so that's so, you know, the edits
Anytime
are
you
weird.
hear no, that's actually bits where you were supposed
I
to
was
be
supposed to say
talking.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good for clarifying, though.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have Michael Fry on, but we tried to get Mariah Carey, but she
Yes.
wasn't free.
Because I know you were hesitant about guests.
Yeah.
Because when I asked Shane, he was like, "Oh, I don't know about guests," and I was like, "Oh, well, you know, I'm doing some work with Sean Burke at the moment," and he was like, "Oh, maybe we'll get Sean on," and I was like, "Okay,
That is not what I said.
Yes.
exactly what you said, but okay."
That's a good
Do you know
show.
what I feel bad about Sean Burke, right?
Yeah.
Because we do the Bureau de Change, and
do.
Sean Burke does the Bureau de Change, and he does good outfits.
Oh, yeah.
And because Sean is like small guy, a short king, a little fella. He's
I've
kind
never-
he's
would never
he's
follow
like
him
a
that way.
slim and a slight man, and I always just think he looks so cute, and I have to tell him. I always say, "You look so cute," and then I'm like, "Stop saying that," because I'm
Sort of man
emasculating
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
But he's
Instead,
he's
say it
handsome and has
on
a
the
great
podcast
moustache.
to thousands of people. That's the better way. of
Behind his
doing it.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to
I
do
think it's
it.
a better way to.
Chance to be a fine thing to get a compliment like that from someone in the know, of course.
I'd love.
But he does.
if
He
you said
dressed
that
up
to
as
me.
like an Australian outback guy,
Oh,
and he
that was
had little
amazing.
matching
That was
shorts.
adorable.
And
That was
And
adorable.
then the other day he was.
But so was Ryan Carrick. Ryan Carrick was like a condom, I think, that time.
Yeah,
He was.
But
no
condom's
one
not
has ever
cute.
been more.
He was as a condom.
It was an
like, you
adorable
know.
You
condom.
don't blow your, your
Sorry,
load.
I might do
with,
some work
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
condoms.
Don't blow your load if you're doing work with a condom.
If you're gonna blow your load, do it in a condom.
That's what I've always said.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But I enjoy the dynamic of this podcast because it's like Shane is the alpha.
Yes.
We've all established Shane is the
Yeah,
alpha.
yeah.
right?
Established, yeah.
And what I really like
Silverback.
is that neither of you can take him on individually, I don't think.
This is true.
But the pair of you together can derail whatever he's talking about, whether it's divan beds or
Yes, yeah.
I don't know.
Making up
Raymond
words.
kept the drapes closed, or so I don't know. What it
Yeah,
is.
I check in with my
You know.
partner to see if we're okay. You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have your back. You know,
Yeah, sometimes we
got your
look
back.
to each other and then we know that the revolution is afoot.
Yeah.
And then we kind of
Yeah,
do
yeah,
a
yeah.
brief
Yeah.
thing, but ultimately the
mutiny.
revolution is generally stamped out, like
Yeah.
most revolutions.
Yeah.
And power tends to be held by those who are powerful.
Yeah.
Alright, chill out, man.
But that's the thing. I think you limit each other in really nice ways, and like when you get too
You
serious,
watch your language.
the guys.
You tread carefully, mate.
But when you get
limit
too
each
serious,
other.
the guys like pull you back down to earth, and when they're too silly, you're kind of like, no, we're gonna go back to
So that's what you think of us. And then in terms of like who do you think you are?
Who do I think I am?
Who the fuck do you think you are?
If you
Tell
were
us-
on Who Do You Think You Are,
Yeah.
what would they find? What kind of dirt would they find?
I know what they would find actually because I did my family tree.
Really? Would you
Yeah,
weep?
yeah, yeah.
Would you? What bit would you be crying for? Being, I didn't realize.
One of my great granddads was in a trial by combat.
What?
So,
Did he get to choose his like weapon or choose his champion?
no, so basically, after the 1798 rebellion, there was martial law. When there's martial law, it's kind of like the guards can do whatever they want. and
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Soldiers can do whatever they want. So they said, right, we've arrested you for being involved in rebellion or whatever. So now you're under trial by combat. You have to fight this man mounted on a horse with a pike, which is a spear.
Yes.
And he won.
What?
And then they were like, well, fuck, you can't just be allowed out of prison. And then apparently there was some lord in the area who was like, no, that's
lord.
unfair. You have to let him out. So they just let him out, and he lived a normal life.
Oh my
Of course,
God,
it's
Michael
trial by
Pike.
combat. That's the trial. The
Yeah.
trial is the combat.
Exactly. But
If he
like,
wins, he
thank God
wins.
for that lord.
Yes,
So, thank God.
200
Thank
years
God for all
later.
Oh
lords.
Lord.
Yeah.
200
That's
years later,
unreal.
you're doing songs on the internet.
Yeah.
Just as good.
He'd be turning in his grave, I'm sure.
Actually, better. That's way
No,
better.
but you know,
You're doing so much better. You're like,
your
Yeah.
pike is your ability to make music, and,
Yeah.
and the lord on the horse is the mainstream media, and
Yeah.
with your pike you're skewing. Anyway, you guys say something else.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
figure
yeah,
that one
yeah.
out. Give me a while.
I do
and
wonder, am I genetically predisposed to being a good pike fighter then? Maybe I'd be
would
good
be,
at
yeah.
like
Maybe you are.
pole vault or.
it'd be interesting when,
whatever.
when someone unravels you in like 400 years, being like, did you know your great grandfather was somewhat of an entertainer? You have a
my
wax
God.
recording here. It's like Derry, Londonderry, Derry, Londonderry.
That's not funny at all.
It was so funny. And there's some wax like, and they're like, oh my God, I didn't realize.
back in the music houses, that it threw up a stall.
Yeah, it did. You would have played music festivals. You would have played comedy gigs. Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's
good-
like
good
usually
story, yeah.
Irish history is also like sad.
Oh, the
That's
rest
kind
of it's
like-
very sad. The rest of
Yes.
it's all really awful. But
And your own life.
In my own life. Oh, dreadful. Yeah. They would be
Your own
crying the rest
past.
of my life. Yeah.
Deeply sad.
Would they unravel anything from you, Shane?
I don't know. I haven't done my tree. And in a way, I don't want to know. I just want to live in the present moment. No, I kind of would like to know, but it's very boring. It was like, and he worked in Telecom Éireann. You're just like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think it is
What
funny.
are they
I do,
calling
1701.
what are they calling?
I do think-
Telecom Éireann.
You invented the phone.
You could have asked your mum.
Just your
What did
dad.
your granddad do?
Go back one generation.
Yeah.
well, that is exactly what I'm talking about.
No,
right,
we're
sorry,
going back
yeah.
for. He's giving us
We're talking
men
about who do you think
fighting
you are, do you
lords
know what I
on
mean?
pikes
Like,
on
Do you think I
horses.
think there was a phone company during the 1798 rebellion?
That'd be good, being like, who do you think you are? Being like, look, we can only ask your dad. Like, we actually ran out of money real quick. Sorry.
Well, our
We're gonna
records are
squeeze you
actually
in.
quite bad in Ireland. So
'Cause of the
after-
fire.
Yeah, fire in the customs house. But also, like, Protestants are better at keeping records, apparently. So, say you go on like Ancestry or one of those websites that does family trees or whatever. The countries that have the best records are like Sweden, the UK. You can go back to the 1200s if you're part of whatever lineages, and then Germany as well. They're very efficient. So we're quite bad. Everything's all water damaged. They're in old churches and it's baptism records and it's things like that.
Fire
So
in the
it's-
customs house would be a fucking banger of a tune.
That was
Yeah.
sort of the Library of Alexander of the 20th century.
It was, yeah. Being like,
Maybe
it
so.
says 4 here in the tenement building. This one says 5. Oops, it's gone.
So much lost.
Oops, it's gone. I guess we'll never know how many people were faking that they were in a tenement building with the same name.
I'd love to know what biscuits were in development in Boland's Mill
Oh,
that were
yeah.
destroyed. Yeah.
What about Jacobs?
Oh, was that also?
Jacobs is
factory.
one. That's where. Well, the DIT now TO Dublin, the Angel Street. That's where that was.
Was that where that was?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go.
If they were given, if I was in the East Rising and they were like, okay, so we're going to go to the GPO, we're going to the Jacobs, like, Bagsy Jacobs!
Yeah.
And I'd be
Yeah.
like,
Take some of these crackers for, you know,
And then they get
substance later
attacked.
on.
They finally get attacked, but they're also full of biscuits. They're really bad at fighting back.
I leave and they think I'm surrendering because I'm just looking for a glass of water because I'm eating so many crackers.
Waving the white flag.
Oh, go and wipe my mouth here with these crumbs everywhere.
Does anyone have a glass of milk? Me lord.
That's why they walked them up to Kilmainham jail just to kind of aid digestion.
Yeah.
I walked them up.
They were
to
doing a
Tullow
fart
Street
walk.
there.
Have you heard of fart walks?
No, do
It's a
one.
new thing. It's when you eat a meal, you should be walking because flatulence is good for digestion.
Okay.
So we do little fart walks now after we've had our dinner.
Oh my
It's
God.
just great.
Disgusting.
Killian, break up.
That's awful. Can you not call them something else? Can you not call them, lovers, trysts or something
Lovers
like that?
wind.
Lovers.
A stroll through lovers wind.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
wind
That's
walk.
much better.
A wind walk.
we're
A
going
wind
on a
walker. Zelda wind walker.
Yeah.
Fierce windy.
I don't like this.
Oh, well,
I don't like too much farty
Now,
shit.
you see, it got
Oh, no,
too
it's not
silly.
farty shit, it's not
and
you, it's not
Shane,
you.
Shane is the alpha here.
It's the
I
farty
am
shit.
silly.
And what I find
just,
interesting
no.
about Shane is Shane doesn't laugh, right?
Yeah.
You guys laugh so much in the podcast, and Shane doesn't because he likes to control the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's happening right now. That's he
All right.
didn't have anything to add, so he got upset. And now
we
he's
thought
like,
we
we're not
quashed
having
the
it
beef,
anymore.
but you're coming
So,
for the. You've
there's
decided
a-
to go for the peg
Yeah,
on
just
top.
saying.
So
If
can
I
if
was
I
in
may,
here.
if I can respond to that. If I can respond. If I can respond.
Please.
Sorry,
Well,
you've
I
given,
didn't interrupt you, actually.
you've given him ample time.
No,
You've given him ample time.
No, you've both had a lot of time to
Usually I
talk.
just
Hold
answer
on,
the
hold on.
question,
If I
please.
make a, if I could answer the question,
Well, I've been very clear about
if
this.
I could answer the question, I
You've had it.
didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you.
Mr. Fry, you've had your
you.
time.
Interrupt you. I take issue with that. I take great issue with that.
okay.
And I think
Give
what
him the
I've been
right to
trying to
respond.
do is bring a level of silliness and mirth to this podcast at all times. If that means sometimes I will try and dilute where it gets too shitty, too pooey, too pissy, too wanky, too cummy, too dickish or too farty, I will try and diffuse that. And I refute the allegation. I refute the allegation from Minister Fry. I refute the allegation that I am in some way.
Well, Shane, these are just some
If I can
numbers
finish, if I can
here.
finish,
No,
if I
but
can
these are
finish.
just some
No,
numbers
hold
here.
on, Claire.
The
Hold on,
reference
Claire,
to
Claire.
buns has gone down 15%. In recent weeks, Tony hasn't talked about wanking in about 3 months since
And,
maybe the
and
first
those are
episode.
and those
Yeah.
are welcome
No,
changes.
no, and these are
when
just
I'm out
some
on the
numbers I'm
doorsteps, when
listing
I'm on
off.
the doorsteps, as I am because I canvass year round. When I'm out on the doorsteps, that's what we're talking about. They're telling me they don't want to hear any more about this. They do not need to know who has foreskins and who doesn't.
Well, Michael Fry's coming in here and he's offering flatulence as a subject matter, and the people seem to be moving towards that. Like, I mean, is that not something?
I don't know if I brought that up.
I think you brought it. I think you're trying to move this out. You're trying to
It was
redelegate
Michael's
this.
idea to start
And
talking
this
about
is
farts.
It sounds like
talk
you have
about
an agenda,
farting.
Kitty.
No, I don't have an agenda.
No,
I'm
hold
just
on,
asking
hold on.
questions.
You said, have you heard about fart walks? And now you're putting this on the minister. How dare you?
This is classic tactics of Minister Fry. That's what he'll do. He will introduce it away and then say, "Oh, I had nothing to do with that. Hold my hands up. You're the one being the minister. You're the one being the minister. How can you come in here and be the minister?" And we're talking about farts. Where does that come from? You're the minister. The buck stops with you, surely.
Look, I've been very clear about this in a number of outlets.
Even on
But
this
we're getting
podcast
distracted.
In the
network.
outlet mall.
We're getting
I've been in the
distracted.
outlet
What I
malls.
care about Are the nurses? Are the doctors? Are the teachers in their classrooms? Are the children going to school every day?
That's who
I care about.
The children should be walking to school.
They're the people.
The children should be farting. The children need to have a good breakfast to sustain them throughout the day, and they should be
farting. You don't hear
farting.
that in the media.
You don't hear the nurses farting in the media.
No.
My favourite noise is the...
Great.
That's the best noise.
Dithering.
The record scratch.
It's like, I don't have anything to say, but I need to stop you from talking.
Yeah.
You're absolutely rinsing me.
It's the most polite filibustering that could ever happen.
It's time wasting.
If I may.
It's a bit like the Crazy Frog, isn't it? Which I think we do an impression of one.
Go on,
Can you do a good Crazy Frog?
The ding 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 bam 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 bam
Actually,
It's really good.
I was like, yeah, do one.
I was trying to give a straight face because it'd be funnier if we were all silent. That's really good.
Perfect. Played my son Crazy Frog, and he was like, "What is that?" Like, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
You know. And he didn't find it funny. That's what's funny about kids. They're just like, all right, well, I guess this is my new reality where these things exist.
Yeah.
You know.
We were all over that when that came out. Like,
oh my God, it was a ringtone first.
When was it? Like 2004,
Oh, they must have
2005?
made millions of
We were
it.
like 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Then we're the young. You guys
Yeah.
were like
What were you
20.
guys? Probably your
Yeah.
teens.
We were playing in the college dorms when it was just like, get that crazy.
we were out fingering birds.
We were
Right?
fingering
That's what we were doing.
Being like-
Having a good time.
playing
having
some
a good
music
time.
on, playing Crazy Frog on the radio,
on the Zune,
of the
on the creative
Scarlet,
Zune.
you know.
You'd stick on. See, the thing is, they're all give me the.
It's all.
It used to be the aux cord for a while there. That's got its Bluetooth. Let me connect. Put it on pairing mode. That's the way it is now.
Yeah,
The young people.
you'd have a mate who would burn a disc, they called it, and they'd burn the Crazy Frog, and so you didn't have to just play it again. It would be on the same disc 16 times, and that was getting down kind of music. You know what I mean? It was really nothing out to get.
And that's what you had. You didn't have much. You didn't have much.
You
You'd go to.
If you wanted music, you wanted music, you had to start a fire.
We had one
and you'd
frog,
throw the
and he was
CDs in the
crazy.
fire.
He was fucking a looper.
He was mad.
He was Lula.
That's so fun to see you do it in real life.
It's good.
great.
It's good. It's my favorite. You can add it to anything. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember my little brother was watching like an anime. He was watching like Castlevania or something like that, and there was like the sky was red and there's vampires, and we just sit there being going, "That was the way it was. The sky was blood red for weeks." And like just kind of anything, like any program, anything like that. It's so much fun to do. Like,
You have a load of brothers like me, don't you?
we're the same. No, I have one more than you do. I have 3 brothers.
So do I.
Shots
Do
fired.
you?
Oh, wow.
Okay, I don't know what this is. I've never been so
brothers.
attracted to you. I don't know. Like, you're coming for me. You're swinging for me. You're like, you're old. You don't laugh. You do. I'm like, I'm just getting hornier and
I got
hornier.
more
Yeah.
brothers. I got more
I've been
brothers
nagging
than
you this whole time.
Yeah, I know. And I didn't know that worked for me, but I'm so into it.
Yeah.
Do you want to see my ass?
Bet you only have 2 brothers.
I've had 3 brothers for years. Long before you had 3 brothers, I had 3 brothers.
Yeah. So
I have
you
2
going anywhere
brothers,
nice in your
so-
Holliers? Sorry, what?
I have 2 brothers.
Shut up,
but-
Killian.
Yeah, sorry.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Bring that up.
No,
so
I-
boring.
I have 2 brothers. So
Yeah. Your brother's the same age as my brother, youngest one.
Yes. Yeah.
They should fight or something.
They should, yeah. But he'll take the pike. You can take the horse.
Horse.
Oh yeah.
My brother and your brother were out hanging clothes. My brother punched your brother in the nose. What colour blood came out? Did you have that one?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
Did
had-
your cousin Omar come up with that?
He did actually.
Where was the fight? Where was the trial by thing?
Oh, in like Lifford or somewhere. So just Donegal somewhere.
Right,
I can't
okay,
remember
okay,
where.
okay.
But yeah. We had, there's a soldier in the grass with a bullet up his ass. What
Singing.
colour will the blood be?
Singing I did load, delete, loud or something like that. Ibble obble, chocolate bobble.
Oh,
Ibble
Ibble
obble,
Abba Black
was
Bubble
good.
is what we had. Ibble
Okay.
Abba
Oh, I don't think
Journey.
you can say Black
No.
Bubble anymore.
Why? What's that? Is it not a bubble? Is it not? Don't know what that is.
No.
Well, we used to do.
I don't know.
We used to be like, my mother and your mother were out. My mother and your mother were hanging clothes. My mother punched your mother in the nose. What colour blood came out? Say a colour.
Blue.
BLUE spells blue, which means, and then I want you to be out. You are the one who is is definitely gonna
Out
be
of
out.
this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you keep making up stuff so that you could actually get someone out.
Yeah.
And you just
Yeah,
make
yeah,
up the.
But I'd be God Dipper before
before
that would happen. And then you
What's
might be
God Dipper?
God Dipper means you are the dipper, right? And then if someone says
people used to
dipper.
dip in the middle, didn't they? Go
Yeah.
Dip.
What the hell was that?
Dip.
Dip,
Sky
dip.
blue. It is not you. Yeah.
It was a bit of a peep.
But
Let
people would
recenter
prepare it
ourselves.
before they would do that. They'd sort of like it's some sort of sacred ceremony or something like that,
Yeah.
and they'd have to cleanse the ground.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
before they would actually do the official
yeah.
dipping, they go.
We'd salt the earth.
Dip,
Yeah,
dip,
yeah.
dip.
I was wondering, is that
Gentlemen,
dip?
dip.
Is dip related? Because the Scouts used to say dib, or the English ones did. I don't know whatever dib is, but they didn't say it in my day. But we were doing backpacking. You know when you used to do it in the shopping.
Yes.
Remember, you used to do people
Yeah,
shopping.
we packed bags, yeah.
And you packed the bags, and there was an old couple came through, and I fondly cherish this memory because I just thought it was so nice. They obviously have come through. They have their kids, they have grandkids, whatever, and they were so delighted about the boys packing the bags. The man came through. They're in the big long queue, and the man came through, and he came straight in. He was like, he's like, dib, right? And we didn't know what this means, and she instantly was like, she slapped me. I was like, stop, leave them. And I just think the two of them were just so delighted about the whole thing. They were just so chuffed.
What does a dip mean?
I don't know, something to English Scouts
I
that
love
says
that.
Salute or something,
like
Scouts
part of
honour
the
or
salute.
whatever.
Skip,
Yeah.
dip. I don't know
What
what
was
it
your
means.
troop? Which Harold's Cross?
32nd Dublin Rathgar.
32nd.
The
Hey, doing
32nd Battalion. of-
32nd
yeah.
Battalion, Dublin Rathgar. Can I pack your bag?
But you have to
Thanks,
say-
bread, bottom, whole chicken,
Eggs.
eggs.
I was
Out.
really good at
It
it.
actually doesn't fit in the car, so I'm just going to put them all in the side. It's all right. I've never done this before.
I think they're all a bit gappy. I'm going to just shake it around so they really all just smack together.
Bread. That always happens. It's like, can I pack your bag? Sure, bread.
Yeah, but it was good. And your parents would give you a little money for lunch, and you'd buy, because you were in a supermarket, you'd buy 6 donuts, and you'd eat
deadly,
every
yeah.
single one of those donuts, and you'd buy some drink you'd never had before. Like it was like
BPM.
it's like a big BPM. Imagine that, washing down 6 donuts with a BPM.
I'm gonna be fucking fired up for about 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Freak out.
I'm
Ready
too
to
old
go.
for that now. That would destroy
Oh my God,
my
it would
digestive
absolutely
Do
system.
you know what we used to really like? I think people used to really into going like, I'm on my break. It's my break. I'm on my break because they felt like you had a real job.
yeah,
But you didn't have a job because you were 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like actually just standing there a lot of time, just not doing it. I just hated all work. So I'd be there like, and we're like saving up money to go to World Youth Day in Cologne. And I'm just there looking at everyone, and they're like, Tony, would you not? I'm like, yeah, I will, yeah. And I'm still looking at it like, and making it uncomfortable because people liked me and they didn't want to. It's like how you giving out to me for being late. You know what I mean? It's uncomfortable because people like me, but I was just some fucking.
You got
bad
the most
worker.
money because they thought you were mute. And there was some
Yeah.
sort of
Arms for the poor, but you were mute.
arms for the mute.
Arms for the
You're
mute.
supposed to not be able to talk.
There was also horrible bastards would come through, and they were usually poshos, and they didn't want the kids to do it, and that's fair enough. But they used to be like, the idea of saying you can just say, I'll do my own, that's fine, thanks, and you'd be like, Grant, and you'd stand there, but then they'd come through the various versions of it. They'd be like, I'll give you money, but I'm not doing it. Right? I'll give you the money. I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, Grant,
they'd always say
fine,
that.
Yeah.
And then they would do like. Some of them wouldn't even say anything, and they would just race you for it, and they wouldn't. You were like, "Am I supposed? Do you want me to do that?" They were like, and they would just race you. I'm like, "That's a boy. What are you doing? Just be nice to the boy."
Can I say though,
You may.
to say that if someone said, I'm just going to do my own and that's fine, that wouldn't be fine. Irish people wouldn't react
That's
well.
not
if-
fine.
No, I think if you were
I'd love it.
two little boys, usually it was 2 people on everything. I
Yeah.
think, right?
Two little toys.
Two little boys ready with the
Each
bag.
had a
Each-
wooden
And then if
horse.
someone said,
And they played with those daily. They played daily. They played like on each summer's day.
My
they were
favorite
playing
song
with
is Two
those.
Little Boys by Rolf Harris. Sorry, continue.
Warriors, both, of course.
Yeah.
And similarly, those scouts will eventually be called up to war, and one of them will die. But no,
little boys.
if an Irish person said to these 2 little boys and said, like, listen, I'm going to pack my own, that would not go down well. Even if they said it in the most polite way possible.
Oh,
they
the
would
boys
wouldn't like
They
it?
would pack their bags, they would walk off, and then the person working the till would turn to them and go, I'm so sorry about her. That would definitely happen. Irish people, even if it's polite, like, it's just like,
I don't,
They
as
can
a
miss you.
nervous child, though, I'd be like, oh, okay. You know, I'd be like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
no, it's fine. No, it's grand. Like,
I was so into the girls in our minds. I just would loved the whole display. I loved the whole setup. I loved they're all sitting. I loved them talking. I loved listening to what they're talking about. They're talking about going out. I was like, no, I was wrecked. One time I went to get a pizza, it made up in Super Queen in Sun Drive, and the woman said, me and my mum were standing there, and the woman said, she was like, I'm obviously a child, and my mum was like a lady, whatever. And then the woman's like, she's like making the pizza, putting the bits on, and you want to like, did you go out last night? She's like, yeah. It was Giat. And I just like love it. I loved all the things. They were like, what time are you on? Are you on? No, I'm on tonight. I was obsessed with them all.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they used to ask, the manager was called Anne, which is a classic ma'am name, like my own mother. I was going to say a
a
joke about
lot
that.
of like,
oh, yeah.
And then they'd be like, Anne, can I get an override? I loved all that. And someone would call it an override, someone would call it a void. I was obsessed with the whole thing.
Oh,
And she'd
void's
come around with her
great.
keys,
Yeah.
and she had one of those, ma'am slacks that were like kind of charges up to her tits, you know those ones, and it was kind of like, what shape is your body at all, man? Like, what's going on there?
And also the sound of like trying to scan and not scanning, like it's some cardboard boxes going like blink, blink.
Yeah, and that's when they had clicky buttons, and they'd be like, it wouldn't scan. They'd be like, and they could do the thing so fast.
Holding the coach.
Oh my God, where's the 8-hour compilation of Rat Minds women doing the shopping? Like, I would fall asleep to that. That'd be incredible.
The worst is when the thing is torn and they have to literally, and there's a queue, like there's a big queue, and they have to go. There's no one there to help them. They have to go and find where the product is, find the code, come back and put it in, and you're just standing there going like, I've done something so wrong.
No, first day of training, they're like, look, don't be fucking distracted. Don't be like, put under pressure by those ants out there. Don't you? You're a god in here. Those are ants. There's a queue 16 long. Don't fucking worry about it. You're a fucking queen. Don't you fucking worry about those piss poor ants. You know what I mean?
What about the dividing things? People sometimes a little too eager to
slam the
It feels
divider.
passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I'm not trying to sneak you to pay for my food. Like, I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah. But I'm also, when it's me, I'm like, I don't want your shopping.
Yeah. No, of course. When I do it, it's fine.
And whoever it is behind you is the weirdest shop ever. There was one guy behind me once, he had Listerine, dog food, and batteries. And I'm like, what are you doing later?
Building a fucking woman. Building a woman. I'm very polite with the kind of like, if I have my, my Haribo, whatever, and my BPM, then like I'll put it right up to the person's barrier, and I'll put a barrier right up there. Do you know what I mean? I'll put it right, like small, maybe 3 inches long is my shop, just out of respect, of course, for the till.
When I'm on
That's why
my...
they call him 3 inches Tony.
That's exactly what.
Yeah.
Tiny Cantwell.
Yeah. When I'm on the keyboard on my computer, I'll take the number lock off so I can be like those really efficient women.
Oh, yeah.
In the bank, where you're like, yeah, it's class.
Very satisfying.
That is part of working in admin. I do miss was typing in numbers with the on the side.
You can still do it. Like it's not.
I don't, and my laptop doesn't have that.
You don't have
It's
that.
gone. Yeah.
Click and collect has ruined that now.
Yeah.
That's the way it's gone.
Bloody click and collect is
This is what
heart of this country.
I maintain that the supermarkets aren't. That's why the stuff is cheaper in Aldi and Lidl, because no one works there.
That's what?
No one works on the floor. But it's awful.
Okay. You're saying that like it's a hot take.
It used to be prestige going to the supermarket. There used to be a glamorous thing like a flight. Air
Yeah,
Lingus.
exactly. An air hostess would be giving you small samples. We've talked about them.
And it used to be a
aisles.
prestige experience. And now they just get you in.
And a
get
lot
you
less
out.
trolleys. Like, people wouldn't be shopping with trolleys anymore. What's going on? Are people shopping smaller?
I went into the supermarket without a coin, and I was like, "Can I just have like a trolley? I'm going to do a big shop here." And they were like, "No," and I had to leave. And I'm like,
I don't understand the coin. Is it to stop people stealing the trolleys?
It's because
Actually.
it's
Because
the
a coin for a trolley is a pretty good
I remember
deal.
I used to be
not just have
taking the
someone
trolleys,
looking at
being
the trolleys.
fucking
Like a euro.
laughed at.
€1 for a trolley.
You needed a trolley, but what's the story with those? There's somehow the wheels lock when they leave the supermarket. What the fuck technology is that? What is that?
It's incredible.
Like, I don't understand any technology. I don't understand anything. I always think it's like an apocalypse. And then they come back, they're like, right, what can you offer? I'd be like, could do like a drama workshop if anyone wants to. If anyone wants to do that for the kids or
I've
whatever,
had
like
that
that kind of
thought,
thing. I'm like, I wouldn't. They'd be like, all right, we need to get the electricity. I'd be like, yeah. Well, the hydro, would that be? I wouldn't have a clue what to do. I would run a workshop for the kids.
I've always thought, if I was on Lost, what use would I be to anyone? And that's actually kind of part of the reason why I got my eyes lasered, because I was like, if I am in a plane crash and I lose my glasses, I'm fucking useless.
Oh my God.
So now I'm like,
worry.
right, even if I'm completely naked, I can still see and do whatever I want.
Naked, afraid, and can
Fully
see.
sighted.
20/20
Fully
vision.
sighted, yeah.
But as long as I can see, that's fine.
Well, I mean, we could get the naked guy to build the roof.
Yeah, the guy took his clothes off as soon as we landed.
First thing to do, if you're on a desert island, get your clothes off.
Take your
Take your
off.
clothes off.
Yeah.
And
It's
you
like,
bury those clothes in case a bear smells
That
them.
has to be
yeah.
even across your body.
But you want to
otherwise
keep
it'll
them
burn.
looking nice in case you get picked up
Yeah.
later on by
No, that's
whoever
why
it
I
is.
buried my clothes immediately.
I think I could
Yeah.
build a good toilet, and I think I would be good at cleaning the toilet. I'm good at dirty jobs. I'm not very squeamish, and I think that'd be good in the apocalypse situation.
There's no need for
But
a
it would
toilet.
be in the sand.
desert
though. It'd
island?
be like a litter
Yeah.
box kind of situation.
You have to go in the sea.
Go in the sea.
Well, where are you going? What are you
Wanna
going to
swim there?
You're going to save all.
That's our drinking water. You fucking insane? dead and bloated 5 minutes into with a shit in my mouth.
Where's Tony? Tony drank all the seawater. I don't know.
Yeah.
He seems to be trying to hold on to everyone's shit as
If we
well.
drink all the water, we can walk to the next island.
There's one more cloud. Stop it! Stop!
Remember me?
Why am I so thirsty?
We did that as a science experiment with
Drank
in
seawater.
primary school. No, you cut open a potato and you put one in water and one in seawater and salty water, and then that one shrivels up, and they go now.
No, there you
That
are.
was not a
Does it
very
taste
detailed
good, though?
experiment.
If you made chips out of that, would that taste really nice?
I'd say it might. Do you know what I heard someone say? A friend of mine, and she was in the chipper, and the man they said, "Do you want salt and vinegar?" And the man said, "Yes, love, a little dose." Yes, isn't that good? That's good.
That's
You
great.
Dublin stuff.
Be a
now,
good
I
name for a
like that.
chipper.
A little dose.
Sometimes when you open it and you get a kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
it goes right up your nose.
yeah, when you open it like in a hot oven kind of vibe, you know.
Were you crying? No, just someone opened a bag of chips near me.
Yeah, no, not for me. I'm not a real vinegar kind of guy.
You're not?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh man, whack it on.
Salt all the way. I want to feel the crunch.
Do you not like pickles or kimchi?
I do like that.
Yeah.
But it's just not my fish and chips. Unfortunately, look, call me a coward or whatever it is, but that's just the way it is. We were at a stag and I had to get chipper for everyone. I went off and got the chipper, like 20 portions of fish and chips or whatever. And the woman said she was going to put the salt and vinegar in the bag. And there was no. I mean, it's bad enough when you get one, you know what I mean? But everyone there being like, hey, salt and vinegar.
Did you get them put in separately?
They were meant to they were all in sachets, and I'm like, I'm not sure what people want. I haven't asked the measurement of salt and vinegar, and they were like, that's fine, we have the sachets, and then she forgot the sachets. I mean, it was a big order, I understand, but I felt like, oh my God, I've ruined the stag do here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This was a meal you're looking
The
forward
wedding's off.
to. Wedding's so I was crying.
When my granny died, me and my brother went to the chipper, and we were like, "We better get everyone chips." And we went in, and we were like, "What'd you say?" It was like, I don't know. It was 20 chips, please. It was pretty great.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty
badass.
good. Yeah.
They were
We'll
like
take
separate
the
all
lot.
together. It was like, all together, you
we'll
stupid
take-
prick. Don't you know I'm bereft?
Yeah.
We've had a bereavement in the family. For God's sake, just put 20 chips in the bags. Anyway, it's what you would have wanted.
Yeah.
One of my teachers used to make the joke when it's like he got a haircut. People say, "Oh, sir, did you get a haircut?" And he go, "Yeah, it was this one here."
Oh, that's
So
fun.
when you said 20 chips, I'd say the guy behind the chipper was like, "All right, 1, 2, 3."
Yeah. Do you know what teacher
would've done
banter I
that.
hate?
What?
Where it's like, sir, can I go to the toilet?
Oh.
I don't know, can you?
Yeah,
sir,
that's mean.
don't be fucking foot around here. Do you know what I mean? I'm bursting here.
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing that I have to ask you in the first place. Do you know what I mean? So why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, we had a horrible principal of our school. She was in primary school for 2 years, I think.
Name and
She was-
shame.
No, I can't. It's sad. It can't sad. This one. But she was like a villain, like a storybook villain, and she had like what do you
Punchball.
call those glasses with two different lenses? The line in the middle.
Bifocus.
Oh,
She had them, like which extra evil. Anyway, she was go around. She was terrifying. And
kid
she
eat
was
his chocolate
cruel.
cake in front of the whole
She
school
was,
one.
yeah, she is kind of like she was Trunch Bully, but like slender and sinewy. And all the kids hated her. She was just a horrible, an old-fashioned thing. So just a horrible thing. And she went around and she had those. Every class had to put up, "May I," not "can," and all this kind of thing. And then we had
my
the
God.
nicest teacher in the school the next year. So the following in the September, and on the first day, that principal had retired. And on the first day, we all kind of, for some reason, we all just watched her, and she was taking down those laminated not "can," must say "may," whatever, took them down. And the teacher, who was a very high-minded, elegant woman, and she
Miss
was
Honey?
older. She was the same age as my mother, thereabouts. So she was.
This is
we
Matilda,
thought she was
right?
old.
What do you call spoiled honey?
And she
This crystallized honey.
honey does not go off. Anyway, that's
Go
neither
off,
here nor there. Go off, okay. Honey. But she took it down and she said, as she taking it down, she kind of knew that our eyes had landed, and she said, "I bet this reminds you of her."
Oh, that's so
And we all were like, "Yeah,
so
the
funny.
witch is dead."
That's great.
And
You
then
should
we
get
sang the
Quentin
song.
Blake to illustrate that story.
Yeah. When I saw Quentin Blake's pictures of the kid, Quentin Blake was the man who
Illustrated Roald Dahl and
Roald
David
Dahl's
Walliams.
books. Yeah.
Sits in his bed all day. Wonderful life.
But because of the style of the artistic, I didn't really get it. And I said, I remember reading the front cover book when I was a kid, and I was like, illustrated by Quentin Blake. And I said, he must have been in a hurry. Because I just thought he did it really fast.
Sometimes I don't like that stylistic. I look at it and I'm like, this is fucking shit drawn. That doesn't look like a girl at all. You know what I mean? And it's just an artistic choice to be all kind of sketchy. And I'm like, that's fucking shit.
I like it. If I was the
great.
president
Doesn't look real
and they
life.
made a
I do like
portrait,
it.
I'd get it done by him. I'd want him to do my portrait as president.
You're not old enough to run for president.
Not yet.
Oh, whoa.
I'm
well,
going
yeah,
for
are
Are you,
next
is this
year.
an announcement? That in how many years?
You have to be 35, so it's like I can't do it next.
We have an
time.
exclusive.
But-
Okay.
I
It's a
voted to
35.
reduce the age. The same day as the marriage equality, we voted for that.
Yeah.
No one gave a
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Everyone was
Yeah.
like, which one?
Oh, I wouldn't. I would. Yeah, no.
I voted to reduce it.
Why would we not reduce the age?
I don't want the president to be 21 years
What
old.
about
That's
Malala?
Crazy.
Imagine we had a Malala. What about
Malala
what's
cozied up
what's
with Hillary?
The Swedish
Don't think so.
one?
The
Hillary
Swedish. Oh, yeah. Well, she's the prime minister.
What's
That's
the
different.
Swedish? No.
Abba.
The
She's
Swedish
finished now
one.
anyway.
No, the really
She's
young
finished now
Swedish
anyway.
one.
Is it Sanna Marin?
Greta
Is that-
Thunberg.
Oh, sorry.
Imagine we had a Greta Thunberg. And we couldn't make
You
Greta
just said the
Thunberg
Swedish.
president.
Okay, go on. Yeah,
Is she
sorry.
not Swedish?
No, I know. That's
She
the
is
only
Swedish,
clue you gave us.
Yeah, the Swedish one. I said
Swedish-
Malala,
I
and then
thought
I
she
said
meant
the
the,
Swedish one.
who was
Okay,
the,
sorry.
the Finnish
yeah.
prime minister
Yeah.
was the young woman, yeah.
No, but we couldn't
finished
make
now.
Malala or Greta if we had one of those. What about the kids from that song? Think you can know what we do. I
doubt
doubt it.
it.
Yeah.
Imagine one of them ran for president. We
I
couldn't
would
make
elect them. Actually,
Exactly.
Yeah. You changed
Well,
my
I'm not
mind.
going to elect
Yeah.
a child. I'm so ridiculous.
Where's the line, Shane?
I'd love if those
Let's make
change my
disease
mind.
illegal.
Kinda, you know, those controversial like guys who go to college campuses and say like change my mind and want to have debate.
Yeah.
But imagine they were doing it about really boring pieces of legislation. Like we should, rewild public spaces and stuff like that. Change my mind. They're just having a really boring conversation.
What's happening? You've had a high pitched noise.
Make disease
Cry
illegal.
into the microphone.
Because a child would say that. Make it illegal so the hand doesn't happen.
There was no explanation for it, though.
Make
So
disease
that would be
illegal.
the first policy. It'd be like,
Not
make
like
it-
no homework, just
make disease illegal.
Make disease illegal.
People do want to make homework against the
The
illegal
president
now.
has once again called for disease to be made illegal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Look how
said
much you got
please.
him. Look how much
Yeah.
you got him.
Oh God!
You need to go
so
get a
jealous
tissue.
right
you
now.
know.
Sorry,
He's
it
actual.
just went completely under the radar as
Yeah,
well.
but you're actually
No one-
streaming tears.
I don't know.
That's
I just-
incredible. I'm so jealous right
No,
now.
hold on.
Yeah.
What's this really about? What are you upset about?
Oh, it's just fucking great.
wish I could be president
I'm,
now.
I'm just really happy to be here with you guys.
That's
Oh,
nice.
you know.
Yeah, we're loving it. We're loving it. This is great. We should
Have
do
a
it
great
more
time.
It's
often.
like old times, Killian.
Just like
Oh, well, now there's a divide, so-
the
Yeah.
past is the past, and then the future is what I look forward to—a disease-free future.
Disease for future where it's illegal.
You know, we did beef, right? We did beef. Beef wasn't very popular for a long time. We obviously had beef together.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we shared boeuf, as the French call it. And
Quash
then,
the nut roast, as you
quash
would
the
say.
nut roast, as I would say.
As you would say, yes.
Veggie juice.
Yeah.
You know, what can you grass? And
Yeah.
and then suddenly, you know, we do our beef, and then suddenly beef is the topic of the world. Kendrick Lamar
Yeah.
and Drake are doing their thing. Right after we did, we were like, babe, yeah, we already did that long ago.
We
It's
did
kind of
Ireland
already
AM
thing.
as
Yeah.
well, which I
We
think
did it.
that's the funniest thing
good.
we've ever done. I really, really enjoyed
It's
that.
insane. It is insane.
My-
What a waste
my
of
mother really
everyone's
loved-
time. What a waste of everyone's
What a waste of everyone's time,
For the
yeah.
self-indulgent fucking
Yeah.
bit that we do.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
It's
went
great.
on the television show and just did jokes that weren't real. I think
Yeah,
that's
with
good.
our
Yeah.
friend from our WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
We're actually off with him. No, I'm off with them.
My mom really liked when you said he has a nose piercing because she didn't like the nose piercing. So she was, and she made sure to mention to me after she saw it.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
See, Shane doesn't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah,
That's
Pierce,
so
that's
funny.
our
Yeah,
French,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But I tried to do a joke about Shane at the end of my Ireland AM segment, right? And I tried to imply that Shane was a shopping centre Santa. So I was like, if you want to see Shane Daniel Byrne, you can go to the Santa's Grotto in Crumlin Shopping Centre. And then it just didn't come out right. So it just sounded like you were doing a gig in Crumlin Shopping Centre.
And do check out
And they were
Shane's
kind of
gig.
like, what are you talking about?
And of course, we know Shane is not the real Santa, but we do know that he knows him. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's go on it again.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go
Yeah.
back.
Well, I'm going to the 6 o'clock show after this. Do you want to come?
No, I have to go do my own show.
Okay.
Your own show.
Yeah, I have a touring show.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant
It's a major
TV
international
show.
success.
Yeah, like
TV show.
something with Martin King or something.
Welcome
you know.
to the 6:30 show. The 6:04 show. What is the 6:1 news with Shane
Yeah.
Daniel Byrne?
Yeah,
That's very clever. Put it on 601.
Yeah.
It's because of the Angelus.
it is. Yeah.
Oh. Need to get rid of that. Anyway.
I do want to get rid of the Angelus, but then I also don't. I've started to really care less about stuff like that lately. It's like I was saying, I don't have time to engage with somebody's homophobia. I'm like, oh, I don't have time for that. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't have time. I have stuff to be doing.
What's that to do with the Angelus?
I'm kind of like, oh, get rid of the Angelus. It's like, yeah, all right. Like, but what are you going to take down all the crosses off the top of the mountains as well? Like, how far are we going to go with this?
It's not really overtly religious anymore. It's just kind of like the bongs, and there's no like
The bongs.
symbolism other than that. There's no crosses. It's just
It's a
like someone,
pause for reflection.
someone like making a puppet or whatever it is, whatever they do in the Angelus.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of
These
thing.
fucking little spindly fingers.
Yeah, yeah.
Bong.
That would be funny if there was a guy doing a bong and then he hears the Angelus. Like,
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just stops, but
You can just hear
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bubbling going on in the
Yeah,
back.
Bong.
No way. No way. As you hold up the ball. That's
It's
what
just all
I'm
various
doing.
different types. There's a guy just about to do a tab of acid. There's someone literally about to fizzy bum a yolk, and then he's just like, looks off.
Yeah.
What
can I-
about doing CPR and then having to stop?
Pause.
Well, it'll have to wait. It'll have to wait. and Michael, we've talked about your collaborations with Killian, and indeed we talked about one of our other comedian friends, Sean Burke. And I heard that you have a collaboration coming down the line.
Yeah.
That was seamless. That was really good.
But it is shit though as well.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's just it's as good as it can get. You know what I mean? That's not just the nature of it.
What
thought
is
you did a
your
great
show?
job.
What is
Yeah.
it?
So
what are you
I'd
doing?
love to hear about your show.
I have a show on BBC Sounds and BBC Radio Ulster that's coming out, on the 15th of June. So, and it will be on BBC Sounds kind of during the week or whatever.
This
the
will
podcast
be
comes
already.
from.
This podcast will not be out, but will already be out.
Oh yeah,
Doesn't matter.
by then, yeah.
It's a podcast.
Anyway, it'll be out on BBC Sounds. It's called Lunchtime with Michael Fry, and it's kind of like a parody of Moncrief on News Talk. Like a radio magazine show where I am a fictionalized version of myself, and I interview some very, very silly guests.
Have you been on Moncrief?
No, actually.
Oh, I've done it twice.
Oh, have you?
How many brothers have you got?
Did you do?
I
How
love
many
that
have
you're trying to like kind of
Yeah.
like one up him when he has a fucking show
This is his-
on Radio Ulster at
This
the
is
It's
his-
nice that
BBC.
you were a guest on someone else's show, but I have my own.
It's
so.
his
You're a guest on my show right now, bitch.
plug. He's
on the Alpha.
plugging space right now.
Sorry, plugging space.
Who's,
To get back into plugging
who's
space.
Sean's on it? Is
So
anyone
yeah,
else?
the writing team. I had a writer's room, which is
Yes.
always I think the best way to
Yes.
write jokes. So we have Sean Burke and Ciara Knight, who I had on the previous show, the Michael Fry show.
Great.
But we've also added Eleanor Morton, who's very funny.
Oh, yeah.
And Carl Kinsella from the Journal, who is hilarious.
So it's exclusively
Great.
red-haired people that you hire on.
That,
writing
yeah.
stuff. Okay.
We were told to add more diversity,
Yes.
and that's what we did. But yeah, no, it's interesting. It's me, Sean, Ciara, and an actress called Ruby Campbell who voice everybody. And there's an original song at the end of every episode. So I wrote,
Oh,
I wrote quite a lot of music
busy.
for this one.
And I
So,
think we have a clip. Do we have a clip?
no, we don't.
no, we
No
do
clip.
not.
Okay, cool.
Killian, you do a clip based on what you think it might be like.
Yeah.
Do we have a clip? We've got a clip.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Michael Fry Show. So, here we are talking about farts. Are we? Okay, what if a German person and an
He hates
Irish
this.
person
Shane hates
were
this.
making a cup of coffee? Is that good?
What if a German? You can't even when you're fantasizing about other people's comedy, you bring your fucking shit in there.
But also, was that an attempt at a Northern Irish accent? Was that what that was?
I can only do one Northern Irish accent is because I saw I went to my friend Rory Morgan's wedding. And, Rory's dad's accent I can kind of do. I
Do
don't-
his-
I
do
can
his whole
kind of,
speech.
let me see if I can get in there. And very deadpan, kind of very slow. When I found out my son was getting married, well, I was delighted. I was just so happy. I thought that was great.
Okay, I like it.
It's not too bad, actually.
digging
yeah.
out Rory's dad there.
It's not
Well,
so
no,
bad.
he gave honestly one of the best wedding speeches I've ever seen.
Wow.
I was on the floor. It was actually better than a lot of stand up I've seen. It was
Yeah.
so funny.
Better than any of our.
Yeah, oh, but better than fucking yours.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Because we
Oh
used
my
to
God.
do that in
I
our
believe you.
stand-up
I do
show,
believe you.
and only I would laugh. So basically,
Yeah.
there was a bit where Killian does an impression of me, and he would do it the worst I've actually ever heard, and nobody would laugh.
No
there
one.
could be like 200 people in the
Every
room.
single night. Sometimes I would
and
do it and I would
only
hear
be
Michael
me-
just like tittering backstage.
Me backstage be like,
There's something so funny about seeing an audience of people kind of looking a little confused and
Yeah.
then just hearing Michael backstage going,
yeah.
And how many times did you do that to no laughs?
Every show we did it.
Wow.
on every. It was just for us,
30
though.
times.
You know?
Yeah, kill your darlings.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And he was like, he'd be like, what's going on?
That's fun. That's good.
Michael was
good.
saying to me the other day, hey, what's going on, guys? Like
Yeah.
that.
That's good. That's strong.
And it never got a laugh.
Fuck them.
Well, we 4 stars, bona fide comedy maestros
Yeah,
from
we
the
were,
Edinburgh
yeah.
magazine. So that's what we are. So thank you.
And when you make the shows, do you make them in England?
No, Belfast.
In Belfast with the BBC Belfast?
Yeah, up there. And
And do you just have fun or is it all business?
No, it is actually a lot of fun. Because it's like your friends. Do you know what I mean? Like the writer's room is the best.
What's
bit of
it like
'cause
working
it's-
with Sean Burke?
He's great. We love Sean Burke. Like, he's the nicest man ever.
He
But he's
literally
also
is
like,
the nicest.
if you have a script, you need it kind of punched up. He's the guy to do it.
Yeah, but
So
you know in
tight.
BBC, not in BBC, you know in Ricky Gervais' Extras, he works with the guy from the BBC and the guy's like always telling them, he ruins all his jokes.
Yeah.
Do you have any of them?
No.
Grand.
No, they're free, blank slate to do what we want.
They let you do what you want.
The only problem is it's on before the watershed, so there's no swearing or sex references really. But I mean,
You've lost
that's
me.
It's an interesting.
It's a great challenge.
Yeah, it is a good challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's still funny without that. Which I
Can you
think
say
is good.
feck?
I
Probably.
think you can say shite.
Oh, that's cool.
I think you can say shite. You can also
Shite.
say bollocks because bollocks is you're allowed to say bollocks because it's an old word, whatever. So you can say that.
Yeah.
great.
And I heard Claire Byrne say bullshit.
Yeah, I think you're allowed to do that.
She got
I think
in a
you're
lot of
allowed the
trouble for
odd
that. She
shit as
didn't.
long as it isn't
Wow.
on purpose.
You're a shit. You can't say shit is the thing. There is
say that.
shit there.
Yeah.
There's a shit on the chair. Can't sound like that.
Yeah.
And what is Sean Burke's availability podcast wise?
He hasn't got
I
his own.
did not say that we could have. I did not say that's a.
I asked you, could I come on the podcast? And you were like, we're not sure about guests. And I said, well, Sean's around. And you were like, maybe we'll get Sean.
That's not. That is not.
What did you say?
Did I do it as a joke?
Though.
I don't know if it was a joke or not.
Because I don't think I would have said that to you.
Yeah, it was after the Bureau de Change. It was very emotional at the time, so I wasn't sure.
It's a very emotional moment.
Yeah. Oh my God.
yeah.
At the
Oh,
Bureau de
wow.
Change,
Oh my God.
drama.
Which I won, by the
yeah,
way.
I will get to it.
Technically.
The Bureau de Change happened, and then it was over, and everyone was having drinks, and the winners were announced, and all the rest of it. Michael Fry didn't place, and everyone was confused because the song went very well, and the audience had a big reaction. And when they read through the list of, we had this, we had Killian, we had Tony, there was a big cheer from Michael Fry. I'm thinking, this
Yeah, it's the biggest. Walk back
This
saying
peculiar.
he won it. I
This
said it to you.
peculiar. Anyway,
You did say it to me. That's that's what was really heartbreaking. I just wasn't expecting.
Did you feel really bad about that when it was announced that he? Well, yeah, Shane continued.
Well, sometimes I have to like overcome my jealousy by being happy for other people, and then I'm able to like fuck.
there was an error. A fatal error
Fatal
where Michael Fry didn't place, and it looked like Michael Fry actually came last, but actually you came first.
I won.
came first because when the results came in, they came across on a pie chart of the 12 or the 10 or 12 acts, right? And all of the colors were different shades of red.
Yeah.
So it was like, what kind of is that? Kind of brown? I think brown was kind of first.
Yeah.
So it was really tough to tell.
it was very hard.
Yeah, I didn't make that
but
call.
still, you won.
You
It
did
was
win.
real
But I wasn't
drama.
like, because when I came off stage, I was like, well, it would made sense that Hannah won it because Hannah's absolutely
Hannah's very
hilarious.
strong.
And
it
she
came
still came
third.
third. So it was like, you know, so it wasn't, I was kind of like,
it's not
that's
first,
fine.
though.
It was still good.
Yeah.
You know?
You did kind of say to me jokingly while dressed as a rat, being like, well, what do I have to do? Like, dressed as a rat, being like,
On the hottest day of the
on
year.
the
as
hottest
well.
day of the year.
I literally, there was bits in the green room where I was just standing there just in my underwear because it was too hot to put the costume on again. Awful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And it'd be like, oh, okay.
There's someone looking at that rat costume on eBay about to click buy, and then they hear that you wore your underpants, and they're like, well, and sweating in it. They're like,
Can I double my
maybe,
offer?
or
No,
maybe
I've
you
kept,
can turn
I've
up
kept
the
the
price.
costume just in case.
It's
just in case
such
I
a
need it.
costume.
It's incredible.
Very, very,
Yeah,
very good.
incredible.
Yeah, but every time now I see that Hannah has won an award, I'll message her being like, they actually pulled me into a room and said I won.
yeah.
And like, I've ample opportunity for that because she's winning awards all over
She's
the place.
won
so
so
it's
many
like,
awards.
Yes. Oh my God. It's what an accomplished woman.
Should have got her on, damn it.
Well, I'm writing it.
I thought you'd do that. I thought you'd be like, and welcome Hannah Mamlis. And I'd be like, I'm not Hannah Mamlis.
Well, maybe I'll have her on when I'm plugging my show because we wrote the sitcom
Yes.
together.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
she's,
very exciting
yeah,
stuff on the
very
way.
exciting. It's looking
No,
to
because
end,
I
guys, so
don't think we'll
excited.
have her on because, I mean, we weren't sure about guests, and now that we're doing it, not sure.
Jury's still out.
Not
Jury's
sure. The
still
guests are
out.
very aggressive
Yeah.
towards me for some reason, and I'm not
Yeah.
into that.
I think that's
I've
the
met one
natural way
guest
that you
and I
have to
don't
do
like
it.
it.
There's two ways you can do it. I think if you're a guest on this podcast, you'll either have to like go face on and attack Shane,
Prison
or
rules.
you can
Oh, that's what it
go
is.
straight to
Yeah.
prison rules. You can go straight to Tony and Killian.
That's
You
what I
come
was doing,
and
yeah.
curry
Okay.
favor with
So
us.
Michael has made either of us his lover. He's
Yeah.
instead gone for like the toughest guy
yeah,
in the room.
yeah.
Can it be Killian?
Glassed
Right.
him.
Is that
yeah,
right?
of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
you've
Okay.
gone for a different tactic. I think other people are going to come on and they're going to try curry favor with us, but you've gone straight for the bull's head. And
Yeah.
like, I'm
Yeah.
kind of stepping back and just watching it, the two stags tussle and see whose horns.
Because that's what I'm
was a bull a second
going
ago.
for
Yeah,
here.
it
My
was.
long-term plan
Fucking
is eventually to replace one of you if anything happens.
And
You
I
know,
quite
so
like
kind of
curry
like-
flavor.
okay.
Very
well-
good.
Did I say curry favor?
curry favor.
You
Yeah.
said curry favor, but every time, show me a man in the world who, when they hear the phrase curry favor, don't think of curry flavor.
I immediately think of-
100%
Show
thinking about
me.
Coke and noodle. You know?
yes.
Yeah.
I put
McDonald's
two of
curry
the noodles
sauce.
in. I put two of the packets in. I put two of the curry flavors in, and only the amount of water you need for one, and it's fucking pungent and it's very tasty.
Well, you won't touch the vinegar.
Sorry, I just took
Are you okay?
No, I fucking feel like I ruined the podcast.
Flow of whatever.
I feel like I just ruined the podcast.
What's the guest dynamic done for you, Tony?
Pardon?
What's it done to you? Where do you feel?
How
What's
do you
the
feel
guest?
about it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think it's good. I think what you've kind of done is kind of opened up a lot of things that me and Killian were too afraid to say, and I think it's going to be the kind of like, all right, remember after. I think it's going to break the internet, being like, did you see, you got called out, Shane got called
That
out.
I stood up to Shane.
Yeah, it'll be
Finally.
like one of those
Yeah.
like Logan Paul, where
Yeah.
one of his like little proteges gets called out by a comedian, and then all of a sudden the dynamics change, and then one of them leaves to form their own podcast.
Someone's going to
Maybe
make like
Oscar
a
get
YouTube
Yeah.
video with like 10 million views. Like,
Yeah.
what happened to Shane Daniel?
What
Byrne?
happened
Oh,
to
yeah.
Shane
Analyzing
Daniel
evil.
Byrne
Shane
podcast.
Daniel Byrne.
It's an hour and a half long.
So I think it's been important. I think it's going to be awkward next week. We actually have to address this.
Yeah.
But
I hope I haven't
you might
disrupted
say a debeef.
did we?
We'll have to have a debeef on this.
We will.
Good. Yeah, because in a sitcom dynamic, there's usually this rule of 4 where you have is it the hero, the beloved, the clown, and then there's like a fourth one who's like Lisa Simpson, basically.
Sure.
And I feel like
Sap.
I'm the Lisa Simpson in this dynamic. So whereas you're the hero, beloved, clown, I would say. I think you two swap sometimes,
nice.
and then
I'll
I'm
take
just
beloved.
this kind of
I think I'm
counterculture
beloved,
figure.
actually. I think Tony's the clown.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That's always a nice thing when people say that. When you say something genuine and then people go, you think that? Interesting.
Yeah.
It just means what you've said is wrong, or they think the total opposite. I think I'm
Someone
actually
said to
really
me
good
they
at
came to
organising.
see.
You think that?
Someone came to see my show, and they came to say, they said chatting afterwards, and they were like, "Love the podcast." Oh, thanks so much. And they were like, "We actually love you on it. We really do." No, we do. We actually do. It was like, what do you mean? Like,
I think it's because you're not
as opposed to what they all say. Like it was kind of like it was a sense
what
of
they
like
say,
I
yeah.
know that everyone says like ugh yuck, but like we actually do like listen.
Yeah.
I
Weird.
feel like it's you get a good spiek in the media.
Good one.
Spiek in the media. You don't.
does that mean?
Bake?
Do you remember Luke Ming Flanagan came in first time he was elected and he said, and if I don't be getting my spiek here, I'll be getting my spiek in at the media.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he said spiek.
What does it mean, though?
I don't.
think
You
it's
know
a
what it means. The way he's
problematic
saying it, like he was like talking to the Count Corla and stuff like that, and he said, and he's giving a big speech. It's a very good speech of like kind of the recession era, that kind of thing. And he's like, and I'll be talking every day, but if I'm not getting my spiek in here, I'll be getting my spiek in at the media.
Just getting his chatting, getting
Yeah,
his
getting his chat in.
Okay, right.
Getting
Yeah,
speak.
yeah.
I don't know what it means. Like
No.
in German, we have Speck, which means ham. So I don't know. My dad
I'll be
was
getting my
very
ham in.
confused
I'll
what
be
it
getting my
means.
ham in somewhere else.
Yeah.
My ham in here.
But
Why
I
is there
think the
only ham
reason
in
that
here?
person said that is because, like, maybe Killian's a big TikTok profile. Totally got this wonderful cult following, and you don't have as big a name, but they still really enjoy you. That's what I think.
Oh my god, that is absolutely outrageous. They were at my show.
Yeah.
They came to see me, Shane Daniel Byrne.
But
But
what I
he's
say
gay.
is they probably saw you off the back of the
Sellout tour.
podcast and then being like, I actually really like that guy.
Oh
Let's
my
go see
god,
him,
the beef
you know?
is actually.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm
Beef
trying.
is
Like I know
like-
we're
it's
all
a
having
Big
fun,
Mac
but there's
now.
part of
Yeah.
me is like my brain is then swinging around my head because I'm like I said this before. Like in terms of about. I'm not a bloke, but about comedy, I really am quite blokish.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, part of me is there, like, well, show me user tours in Australia. Like, part of me, I was
Sell a
like,
tour in Australia,
I was
sell a
like,
tour. I'm not
disputing that at
I put
all.
on extra shows. I did 29 shows in Edinburgh all the way through. What did you do? 2 weeks together, 2 years together. I did 29 shows every single fucking day.
Yeah.
Like, I really do
Yeah,
start to
go
feel
for it.
like
I
I
love it.
can't. He's getting under my skin.
I mean, in terms
Wow.
of your online following, though, if you
do you want to
just
make
in
out or
terms of
not?
pure
I didn't
numbers,
know we had
right?
this
So
dynamic
hot.
before.
I don't know. Sorry. I'm
Tony,
just-
do you want to go watch a movie or something?
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that?
50 Shades Freed. No.
yeah. My
It's weird, but it's actually like we think this is going well for us, but actually, I think it couldn't be closer to me and you being kicked off the podcast than it just being to them.
Oh my god, it really is.
It actually is like it's on a knife edge.
This is my long-term plan, though, is
Yeah.
to poison the well.
Yeah.
Is to make you all doubt yourselves, you know?
Yeah,
my
but we're
God.
gonna go on a retreat after this,
Yeah.
and we're gonna realize why we love each other so much,
Yeah.
and why we don't like.
But
you.
after this, you will have...
I've realised that, Michael. Everyone put in the circle, write down a piece of paper and put it in the jar.
I would like
Something
to hear
you
like
hate
a
about my
review
info.
of how you think this went. I would like to hear like you react to this, you know?
And I won't give you what you want.
No, exactly.
I'm not
you
going
won't.
to give you what you want. I'm
Exactly.
going to leave you in suspense. Keep them
Yeah,
guessing.
yeah, yeah.
Keep them guessing.
Yeah.
Keep 'em
But
guessing.
at the end of this, you guys will have a podcast with your friends, and I won't have that. So
Do you know sometimes when you air things and it's like
You
it
have-
might be whatever you're like, but I'm glad we talked about that. I'm not sure I'm glad
We've
talked
opened
about
that.
this.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
this was a
yeah.
mistake.
This is a
I
big
feel like
mistake,
This has made
so-
things worse. You know, I was like, I feel like I've brought my friend to hang out with my other friends, and I really want you guys to like, even though obviously we're all friends, but I feel like
weird, isn't he?
And I'm just
Yeah.
like, he's class, isn't
Oh, he's
he?
nice. He's a bit weird.
And then he's like, you're all fucking pricks.
yeah.
Stop slagging them. I need them to like you.
But like Killian told me, Killian broke the news of this podcast when I was going to ask him to be on a podcast with me.
Oh my god.
So I was like, I was literally like, because it had been a while.
BBC.
No, not that one. But,
Oh, you were
but
never
I was
mind
like,
for that.
I'm gonna ask him. Does he want to do a podcast with me? And we'll figure out formats or whatever. And then you were like, well, actually, Michael, I'm doing a podcast with Shane and Tony, and it was devastating. And it was devastating because I was like, that's actually a much better idea than having me in a fucking podcast. So, because you guys have like defined personalities, whereas like I feel like I don't have that yet in terms of
you
like
do.
my
How could you not
stage
have a
personas or-
defined personality?
Well, I do a lot of character stuff. I don't do like jokes the way you guys
Oh,
do
as
it.
in you just being you.
Yeah, as in like if I do stand up, the most uncomfortable thing for me is to do the the joke. Here's a joke about this as me.
Which is
Whereas,
you're really good at. I remember we
You're
were
very
doing
good.
a show last night, and Judy J was there, and she was like, "He's so good. I've never seen him do this before. He's so good at it." And then you come off stage, and you're like, "Jesus fucking Christ, I hate this."
I told you what
killing to 1,000 people, like
I
smashing
think
it.
you should do. When you guys did a show together, it was called An Evening with. Which way was it? The name?
Michael Fry and Killian Sundermann.
Yeah.
I think you should commit to An Evening with Michael Fry. And I think you should
yeah,
be
it'd be
you
so
on it
good.
with the
100%.
piano or a keyboard, whatever. And I think you should be there. And I think the bits you don't like is the stand up, the chatting bits. I'm like, take all the nastiness out of it. Sit down, be a thing, have video, have thing. I think that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you were like, at one point, you were like, I don't want to do any live stuff ever again.
Yeah, I was actually. Yeah. But you're really useful for that sort of stuff. So after our first gig together, we were like, we need to ask Shane what he thinks.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the one
yeah.
thing you told me to do is to slow down.
Yeah.
So I now slow right down. Because I
Too
don't,
slow.
so I don't have enough material to cover the allotted time a lot of the time. So I just let it.
talking.
I just let it go out.
So,
Whoa.
what
Guys,
about?
that's just 45 seconds. Me hope you.
Yeah, but I think you're funny on about politicians. I think you're funny about current affairs.
Oh, that's great.
And that's a good position. That's a good thing to be funny about because
What's the sketch? What's the subject matter? Is it just silliness or is it?
Very silly. We do a bit of politics stuff, but like more in the vein of balance or whatever. So
Okay.
we have a global warming chat and we invite the sun on, like the actual sun. So we do, and it was fun doing the sun's voice because you're like, hello, you look at it, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and then we
What's
have,
him?
there's a character who he's a recurring character called Dr. Apocalypse, and he's just like this, he's a politician that we just have on and he's pure evil. And then we have like the bogeyman as well. So I'd be like, joining us now for balance is a local folk devil, the bogeyman, and then ask him about children's curfews or whatever, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's good.
So we play with that a little bit. But it is a lot of silly stuff. We do a lot of ads as well.
Oh, ads are good.
Fake ads
I love a
for
good
like
fake ad.
fake podcasts,
fake
all that
ads.
kind of stuff. So that's always fun, My favourite moment for your dad actually is after our show in Dunleary.
Oh, yeah.
And I had this joke about Bus Oris. So Bus Oris was designed by Michael Scott. He's like a brutalist architect. And I made a joke that it was an architectural marvel because it's the first building in the world whose foundations solely consist of human urine. And his dad came up to me and he was like, well, no, actually, I mean, it was designed by this guy at this time. And he's like, it's a beautiful building. And then he just goes, but I understand the human. Yeah. I was like,
So funny. Michael
the
Scott,
German
it's
thing I've
actually
ever-
quite an interesting piece of architecture that is quite significant in the 20th century, but I understand it was a joke.
Yeah.
That's great.
But he had to say that. He couldn't get it. I don't know what it is. Whenever my dad, I supported Shane, and he came for me after the gig as well. Do you remember that?
yeah, I do. He really was.
He started. He actually can be funny himself, and he started making jokes about me at my expense. And I was like, Jesus, you're like Shane and Tony on the
What did he say?
podcast. Oh, I don't know. He's just roasting me.
About not emptying
But
the
you also
He
dishwasher.
made
knew
some
it-
jokes about going like, yeah, you were very good, Shane. I don't know about the support act.
Shane Daniel.
That's
Shane Daniel, he
Wow.
calls him.
Shane Daniel.
That's
But you
great.
knew
Shane
it
Daniel,
was.
very
You knew
good.
it was coming.
Yeah,
You were said to me in the room. You were like, he's gonna pick at that.
It's
yeah.
so fair enough because I do bits about him on stage, so it's like
Oh, yeah.
I do my
fair
dad
enough.
with I do my dad on stage, but I do a totally different accent that's not his own. But it's just the way I do it.
Yeah.
So I always have done, and I'm staying truthful to that. But it doesn't. My dad's from Dublin, but I do.
You're
him like,
staying truthful.
I do him
to
like some
being
blustery man from
untruthful.
Tipperary, but that's not who he is.
Yeah, yeah. It's good, though.
It's a version of. It's a heightened version of.
Are
And
you sure you
that's
want to be kind of
art.
peeling back the curtain this much?
Yeah.
Okay.
People are deleting their tickets. They're like, the accent he does for his dad isn't actually that authentic. Did you know that?
Deleting
Yeah,
their
but it's
tickets. You're so
authentic to the
young.
impression of my dad.
Consumer shit. We would have been tearing up their tickets. And now it's deleting their tickets. This common
They're
Zoomer
deleting
phrase.
Eventbrite off their phones.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey Siri, delete my ticket.
My brother had physical tickets to come see a comedy show that I was doing. Remember the Christmas one with Peter McGann, and he ripped them up by mistake. He thought it was like scrap paper, and he tore them to shreds. And I don't, when something just really tickles you, he was like, "Hey," text me on the day of the show. I was like, "Hey, I got a problem." I was like, "Why?" Just send me the picture of the tickets in shreds. And I was like, I don't know why I found it so funny, but I just
fucking idiot.
sometimes there's just something that will
I was just so mad at you.
they were just, but it was not like he tore them in half to throw them in the bin.
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
in shreds, schmitherini. Like it was really very
Just
funny.
kept ripping them.
Yeah.
Sexually frustrated. That's what that means.
There's a friend of mine.
Hate when people say that about
Why?
the beer mats in the pub. It's like, that's sexual frustration. I was like, no, I'm just doing it with my hands.
No, every time I do it, I'm pretty horny.
Okay. gets you going.
Stares
Yeah,
at
it
you
does actually,
directly
yeah.
in the eye.
Something from you, Michael
Oh
Fry?
yeah, sorry. Yes,
No, it's
a,
all right.
a friend of mine used to work in a photographer's, like a guy who used to photograph like families, and
Communion and
children,
confirmations?
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Take those socks off.
And
Do it now.
the families would buy whatever photos they wanted. So they'd print off loads and be like, okay, which ones do you want? They'd buy them. And then her job would be to shred the photos that weren't there, but they didn't have a shredder. So she would sit there on a Friday, she'd put music in her ears, and she would tear up pictures of babies forever.
Oh my god.
Which is so upsetting.
Oh my god.
Why didn't they just get a little tabletop one?
It's a mental
Oh
thing
my
to
god!
happen. Yeah.
Get one of those guillotines that the teacher sometimes let you use in
yeah.
school. You know
Oh,
those.
yeah.
Very, very good. You'd
Does
always figure out a
she?
way to break it by putting too many in.
There's a
too many
reach
pieces of
button as
paper in,
well.
and then you,
I've no need for lamination or guillotine, but I want both of those in my house.
What would be the first thing you laminate?
I don't know.
Wash cups before you put it on the cabinets.
I put it on the cabinet for Raymond. Your mother doesn't work here.
Yeah.
So you may clean your own cups. Thank you
one of
very
those
much.
Really passive aggressive Airbnbs that you go in.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like all those little things there. And you're like, actually, fucking chill out, yeah.
It is mad when you see one in a canteen. It's like wash cups, and then another one being like, I mean it, being like, you know, they put a sign on a sign, being like, there's a whole story here. There's a whole like, well, it got so far, I warned them about the sign, then I had to put the sign up, then I put another sign up. Like, this is just a fucking legacy of this woman, presumably.
There was a woman I worked with, and she threw everyone's lunch in the bin one time. And she was like, the fridge is to be cleaned, but so then they had to start a system of like, fridge will be cleaned on the first whatever.
Yeah.
But one day she just went in and she's like, oh, stick of this. She just took out everything in the fridge and the lunch boxes, the whole lot, put it all in the bin.
Oh my god.
And everyone came and was like, where's my lunch? She's like, I don't know what happened to the woman, but like she threw it all in the bin. Like,
Fucking dead right.
weird.
Love that.
Yeah, busybody carry on.
Sometimes you just have to do that. Make a big move like that.
That's great though. It gives you all something to talk about.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
it's turning
yeah,
better.
yeah.
You unite
That
against
is
a common enemy.
Yeah, if there was like a
Yeah.
newbie who was only in there a couple of days, guess what? You're in the team now.
Great.
Because
Yeah.
you've got someone else to look at, and
oh, that's
you know,
so good
yeah.
when you're the newbie
Yeah.
and then someone else comes along.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
we do a ceremonial peep 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 together? Zusammen?
You're letting them in the peep.
What are the German words? I know peep peep peep, but I don't know. Is
You're
it
acting as if they know.
lieb.
Wir haben alle lieb.
Okay.
will
Peep, peep,
what?
peep. Wir
Wir
haben
haben's
uns
alle
alle
lieb.
lieb.
Wir haben's alle lieb.
Alle.
Alle.
It's funnier when you get it wrong, so just try.
Okay. So is it? Oh, you did that. Okay.
Don't
We hold
overthink
hands.
it.
We hold
Oh
hands.
right. I've never watched. I've listened to the podcast. Yeah.
Piep, piep, piep. Wir haben uns alle lieb.
Very good. And I think the beef is officially well done.
Quashed.
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 Medium rare.
Yeah.
Le bœuf, c'est fini.
And we will be on Michael Fry's BBC Sounds season 3. We have very much look forward to
And
every
we're
episode.
all away, so Sean Burke will be taking over Young Hot Guys over the next number of weeks as we take our summer break.
He'll be running
so
between
you
the
can look
microphones.
forward to that, and he'll look so cute while doing it.
Who would you replace you guys with if? So
Sean-
I imagine it'd be me, Sean Burke, Ryan Carrick.
Javier Bardem for me.
other-
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh yeah. If it
Well,
could
I
be
just
anyone.
have to choose another Irish German, so it'd be Michael Fassbender.
Okay.
That'd be good. Fassbender, Javier Bardem.
Yeah, and then
I'm irreplaceable, so it won't happen.
listen to Michael Fry's BBC Sounds show, but continue to listen to this, and if you want an extra episode, bonus.
Subscribe to the Patreon. Is
No.
that
Well, no,
HeadStuff.
it's
It's
HeadStuff Plus.
HeadStuff
HeadStuff
Plus.
Plus. You can check it out there.
Sorry.
Do you not
Yeah.
subscribe to that?
Turns out I don't. So sorry, guys.
That's, Hilary
Oh my
shot
God,
fired.
Hilary
Hilary
just-
freaked.
Hillary just said, "Oh my God, Michael, you're not a real fan." Oh my
All right,
God.
we've some business to do.
Okay,
some
the beef is back
requashed.
on.
It's
Okay. Beef is back on.
unquashed.
They're attractive.
You're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy. It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
Killian